Hi, friends. Mrs. Lerfeld here. I know a lot of you have already done Africa. If you have not done Africa, you're in the right place because we are going to be reading the book for you to complete your Chapter 3, Africa, in our geography book. All right. Discover the continents, Africa. And I'd love for you to read the words along with me. We have the table of contents, home of early humans, where is Africa, the land and climate, the plants and animals, the people, fast facts about Africa, glossary to learn more, and index. Home of early humans, Egyptian pyramids. Humans have lived in Africa for thousands of years. Scientists have found bones about 200,000 years old on the continent. Did you know Africa has the world's largest hot desert? The Sahara is about the same size as the United States. Africa's Nile is the world's longest river. As many as 2,000 languages are spoken in Africa. Africa is the only continent where giraffes, hippos, ostriches, and lemurs live in the wild. Today, people visit the ancient pyramids in Egypt. Victoria Falls is another famous landmark. This beautiful waterfall flows in Zambia and Zimbabwe. Where is Africa? The Mediterranean Sea and Asia border northern Africa. Eastern Africa touches the Indian Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean lies to the west. And here we can see a zoomed in view. The prime meridian and the equator cross Africa. This puts the continent in all four hemispheres. The land and climate. Africa's lands are often hot year-round. One area is the steamy Congo rainforest. It lies near the equator. The Sahara Desert stretches across northern Africa. The Kalahari and Namib deserts are in southern Africa. Okay, so we have the rainforest here, and then the deserts below. And then up here, the Sahara Desert, which is the size of the United States. Africa has large savannas. These grasslands have rainy seasons and dry seasons. The most famous example is in the Serengeti in eastern Africa. The shores of Lake Victoria sit west of the Serengeti. This is Africa's largest lake. The plants and animals. Orchids bloom in the rainforest. There, vines stretch between akumi trees. Tall grasses grow on the savannas. Hibiscus flowers blossom there. Shrubs and acacia trees dot the landscape. Few plants grow in Africa's deserts. The hibiscus flowers actually edible. Gorillas and chimpanzees play in Africa's rainforests. Scorpions dart across desert sands. On the savannas, lions and cheetahs hunt zebras. Millions of wildebeests live on the Serengeti. Every year, they migrate in search of food and water. The people. Many people call Africa home. More than 1 billion people live there. Only the continent of Asia has a larger population. We know that population is the number of people. So this is the continent with the second most people. There are 54 countries in Africa. Some of these are islands, and there's an island right here I wanted to point out. You might have heard of this island before, Madagascar. Lagos, Nigeria, is Africa's largest city. More than 21 million people live there. It is one of the world's fastest growing cities. Many Africans are moving from the countryside into cities like Lagos. It is a sign of a growing and changing continent. Fast facts about Africa. The size is 11,700,000 square miles. There are 54 countries. The largest country is Algeria. The smallest country is the Seychelles. Number of people is 1.2 billion people. The place with the most people is Lagos, Nigeria. Top natural resources: diamonds, gold, wood, fish, natural gas, and copper. And the top landmarks are the pyramids at Giza, which is in Egypt. Victoria Falls, here's the pyramids. Victoria Falls is in Zambia and Zimbabwe. Mount Kilimanjaro is in Tanzania. And Valley of the Kings is in Egypt. All right. So I hope that you enjoyed this book about Africa. In our glossary, we have words that you may not be familiar with. This is a feature that we see in nonfiction text. And so I'll go through these real quick if you would like to listen. Otherwise, you can go get started on your writing. So here's the glossary. Ancient means from long ago. Area, that's a word that we use in math sometimes, but it means a specific place. Continent is one of the 7 main land areas on Earth. You should know all 7 continents. The equator is the imaginary line around the center of the Earth, and that's where it's warmest because it's closest to the sun. Hemispheres are the halves of the globe. The equator and prime meridian divide the Earth into different hemispheres. A landmark is an important structure or place. Migrate means to travel from one place to another, often with the seasons. Population, number of people who live in an area. The prime meridian is an imaginary line that runs vertically around the Earth. So the equator runs horizontally. The prime meridian runs vertically, up and down, opposite of the equator. The rainforest is a thick green forest that receives a lot of rain. And the savannas are grasslands with scattered trees, shrubs, short, woody plants. You might have some shrubs at your house. Here's some information for learning more. Factsurfer.com. You can also use gopebble.com if you'd like to learn more information. And then at the back of a nonfiction text, we also have an index. And this is similar to the table of contents, but it breaks up the keywords so that, for example, if I wanted to learn about the climate of Africa, I know that I could go to pages 8 and 10 and learn about that. Or if I was like, I wonder what languages they speak, I could look at languages and then know that I can go to page 5 and learn about the languages. So index is really an important tool that can be used in a nonfiction text. Okay, so I'm going to go now to actually maybe I can put it here and you can go ahead and pause your video for when you do your writing. So at the top of chapter 3, it should already say Africa. All right. You should have your continent of Africa glued into your picture box. And these are the sentences that I wrote. I started with a big, tall capital L. That Z actually doesn't have to be a big, tall capital. If I didn't do it in Sharpie, I'd erase it. This could be a lowercase c. Lions, zebras, and giraffes live in Africa. I did give that Africa a big, tall capital because it's the name of the continent. Africa is hot because it is on the equator. All right, so those are the two sentences that I've modeled for you. I would love for you to make your own two sentences. Maybe you want to tell me about the landmarks like the pyramids. Maybe you want to tell me about the animals that live there. Okay. I know we talked about the lions, zebras, and giraffes. You could also talk about camels or hippos, scorpions, right? The African Nile is the longest river. So I will end this video. You can go ahead and push pause if you would like to stop on this page for you to get your sentences. I'd like for you to add maybe 2 or 3 of your own sentences to get to the back of the page and tell me some more facts about Africa. All right, bye guys.